Mr. President, my country remains committed to supporting the self-determination of both the people of Palestine and Western Sahara. The time for mere rhetoric has long passed. The international community cannot continue to turn a blind eye or be numb to the systematic injustices and suffering of the Palestinian people. We call upon the Security Council to fulfill its mandate by implementing robust measures that ensure the protection of civilians, the upholding of international law, and the facilitation of a just and lasting peace. Most importantly, we need to continue supporting efforts towards a two-state solution which will help resolve the question of Palestine and the resultant peace and security challenges in the Middle East. In the SADC region, we are working tirelessly towards the achievement of peace and security in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, and in the Cabo Delgado province of Mozambique. Excellencies, the international financial architecture, as it stands today, is an anachronistic construct that no longer meets the needs of the global community, particularly those of developing nations. Our economies, which are the livelihood of the global market, are disproportionately affected by the rigid and often inequitable policies imposed by dominant financial institutions. The current system, steeped in historical power imbalances, has failed to provide the necessary flexibility and support required for sustainable development. It is therefore imperative that we reform these structures to ensure that they are more inclusive, more equitable, and more reflective of the diverse realities that are faced by all member states, particularly in the global south. In a world facing all manners of insecurities, the current paralysis of the Security Council on crucial topics is unconscionable, as it negates its very important existence. Reform of the Security Council is not just an aspiration, but a present-day necessity. This reform is not just a matter of fairness. It is essential for ensuring that the Council's decisions are all-inclusive, are credible, and truly reflect the global community's diversity. In this regard, Zimbabwe stands by the African Union's Ezulwini Consensus and the SETI Declaration, which advocates for at least 2 permanent seats with the veto power for African countries on the Security Council. Excellencies, information communication technologies have transformed our lives for the better and can be harnessed for fast-paced development. Yet, the same technology has also been employed to commit crimes and destabilize societies. It is therefore prudent for us to come up with a global digital governance framework in order to guard against the harmful consequences of this otherwise transformative technology. Zimbabwe is fully committed and will contribute positively in all negotiations aimed at global cooperation in both harnessing the good from the digital world and also combating the negative aspects and abuse of the same. Mr. President, as I conclude, I wish to reaffirm Zimbabwe's commitment to the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. The challenges we face are immense, but not insurmountable. By acting together, we can advance peace, we can promote sustainable development, and uphold human dignity for the present and future generations. Zimbabwe stands ready to collaborate with all member states to ensure that our shared aspirations for a better world are realized. Let us work in unison, guided by the spirit of multilateralism, solidarity, and mutual respect in order to address the pressing issues of our time and to build a more inclusive and just and sustainable future. The government of Zimbabwe is advancing a devolution policy driven by our mantra, which I quote, leaving no one and no place behind. The focus is on promoting grassroots development through empowering provincial and district authorities to lead the way in fulfilling their development aspirations. Our goal is to ensure that no community, no village, no town center or province is left behind in our development efforts. As a result of this policy thrust, we have witnessed a life-changing and transformative impact driven by this bottom-up approach. Our valiant developmental efforts notwithstanding, Zimbabwe is confronted by formidable challenges in its quest to attain the SDGs. The adverse impact of the punitive, illegal, unilateral sanctions, compounded by the exigencies of climate change, present real threats and barriers to our development strategy. In this regard, we call upon all those that have maintained illegal and unjustified sanctions on Zimbabwe to remove these unwarranted measures immediately and unconditionally to allow us to continue with our noble efforts to uplift the lives and livelihoods of our citizens. And in the same spirit, Zimbabwe stands in solidarity with the government and people of Cuba in their struggle against the harsh economic, commercial, and financial blockades. We call for the immediate lifting of this stifling embargo to enable the people of Cuba to pursue their aspirations without hindrance and interference. I thank you for your attention.
Muchísimas gracias al
I thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade of Zimbabwe.